Ron DeSantis, as Jessica was alluding to, clearly wants to make America Florida, and he is going to export his culture wars to the national stage. But will that actually work for him? Now, we can analyze this on multiple levels. It is possible that it could work for him in a Republican primary. It is possible he can score some points among the MAGA base by being more like vociferously like cruel and constantly filled with rage towards the LGBTQ community than Trump. But is that gonna help him in a general election? The polling doesn't really seem to indicate that that's the case. I want you to take a look at this recent poll from YouGov, looking at a lot of Ron DeSantis's proposals. So this is polling people across America. What do you actually think about these? Now, there is, regrettably, tragically, one topic where they do tend to agree with them, and I hate that this is the result, but 52% favor banning transgender female athletes from playing on women's and girls' teams at public schools. I hate that thus far they've been winning in that rhetorical battle, but to be clear, on all of these other signature things, including requiring books to be reviewed and then bans, schools and businesses being banned from imposing COVID-19 mask or vaccine requirements, the bans on critical race theory, gender studies, intersectionality, a lot of these different things, his position on abortion, all of that. These are wildly, increasingly unpopular policies, which seem like it's gonna be difficult to run a national general election campaign based on. What do you think, Jessica?
I think I'm gonna draw on my background in data science and polling here. That first question, they said transgender females in the language, which is confusing because transgender, not transsex. So if you're talking about females who are transgender, this is someone who was born with the sex of female and transitioned into identifying as a man. So you're saying female transgender people can't participate in women's sports. So that's a weird question because I think what we hear about on the news a lot that conservatives are up in arms about are athletes who were born as males and then are transgender and identify as women and want to participate in women's sports. So just the wording of that question throws me for a loop, but I do think that this entire poll shows that no, DeSantis's platform is not popular publicly among the entire country, but we know that the Electoral College doesn't always give us the president that is the popular candidate to choose.
That is true. Yeah, in terms of language, the transition from what DeSantis and right-wing advocates say to how YouGov mentions it, I don't know exactly how that works. I will also say that one of the things that always complicates it is that the people most driven by this war against the broader LGBTQ community or transgender people individually also seem to know the least and be the least curious about literally every aspect of this. That said, and by the way, like he might be able to say like, hey, I won in Florida, I can deliver Florida. Recently, the Republicans always win Florida. That's not even that big of a change. Can he win Georgia? Can he win Pennsylvania? Can he win Michigan? These sorts of states, that's where it matters. And again, not so sure because when YouGov told respondents that he had done these things, these are the things he's actually done. That's not disputable, he has. How does that affect your vote on whether you'd support him? Among registered voters, the number who said they will definitely not vote for DeSantis went up 3 points once they realized that, while the number who said they definitely will vote for him fell by 3 points as well, which effectively put DeSantis at the same position in terms of electability as Donald Trump. And that's before a lot of people around the country even really know who Ron DeSantis is. And that's before what could end up being a nearly year-long process of Ron DeSantis needing to constantly, on a daily basis, exert so much cruelty and radicalism to defeat Donald Trump. He has to get past him first. How does his reputation in a broader sense survive that sort of war? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it will. This is a guy who very recently, I think as recent as last week, said, I grew up in Tampa Bay, but culturally, my family was working class. It represented Ohio and Pennsylvania. That kind of statement is not gonna fare well in a lot of swing states where the voters are middle class, working class people. He uses language that's extremely alienating in a way that Trump doesn't. So I don't know how he'll do at the national level, especially with Trump.
100% viciously attacking him. Oh man. Including just in the last day. Trump accused Ron DeSantis of killing a 100-year-old World War II veteran with the COVID vaccine. Jeez. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.